Alright guys, this is day 2 of tangent lines. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. I kind of stopped with 7 and 8 in the last video. Number 9 is a little bit harder, and so I saved it for this video because the other stuff I'm gonna go over is very straightforward. Okay, so remember, if this JK is tangent to the circle, there's a right angle, so I'm gonna set it up as x squared, right, which is one leg, and then the other leg is 20 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So the hypotenuse is this outer segment is 10, the inner segment is not 10 though, it's actually x because the radius is x and this is also a radius. So LK is the total, right, it's the whole thing, so I would do x plus 10 quantity squared. This is why we practiced our algebra skills before. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do x squared plus, and 20 squared is just 400. But over here, I have to do x plus 10 times x plus 10. So I do my double distributive property, right? I do x times x, which gives me x squared, and then x times 10, which gives me 10x, and then I do 10 times x, which gives me 10x, and 10 times 10, which gives me 100. Okay, I know it looks crazy. That's why I didn't do it in the last video. Okay, so x squared and 400 just stay. Sorry, my kids are yelling in the background. 10 and 10x and 10x join together, which gives me 20x, and then 100 is just 100. Alright, so now I start combining my like terms. So I'm going to take off x squared here and take off x squared here. So those cancel. And then I'm going to take away 100 on this side and take away 100 here. So 400 minus 100 is 300. And then on this side, all I have is 20x divided by 20. And I get x equals 15. Okay, I thought I was going to have to factor that one. So I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought, but okay. Now we have two new properties about tangent lines. One of them says if two segments from the same external point, so B is my external point, are tangent to a circle, so I draw them tangent, then they are congruent. So this is congruent to this. And the reason is because if I drew a line here, we have two triangles, and you could prove by hypotenuse leg that they're congruent, you know, side, 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 all that stuff. You could prove that they are congruent. Then there's another property that says if a polygon is circumscribed around a circle, then all sides are tangent. So what happens is if my circle is basically on the inside of my shape, this piece and this piece are congruent. FC and EC, those segments are congruent, and then AF and AD are congruent. It's basically like taking this picture and doing it on all the sides. Okay, and you can kind of tell if it's drawn to scale. So let's do some examples. So right here, all I have is it says find each value or measure. Assume that the segments that appear to be tangent are tangent. So AB definitely looks like it's tangent. BC is tangent. So these two are congruent. So I would just set it up and solve. I know you guys can do that. So I'm going to let you put your answer in Edpuzzle. Okay, so in that case, x equals 14. For number 11, the same thing. PQ is tangent, RQ we're going to assume is tangent, so these two segments are congruent. Just set it up and solve. Okay, so at number 11, you would get that PQ equals 29. Don't forget to plug your answer back in. Alright, so number 12, it's asking us to find SV. So this one's a little bit harder because I don't really know anything about SV. But I do have that these two over here are tangent, so I'm going to set those two equal to each other. and I subtract 4x on both sides, and then I add 41. The key to doing it this way is you got to make sure something cancels on each side. So I get 48 equals 6x, divide by 6, and I get what, like 8. So x equals 8, but that's not the final answer. I'm going to take 8 and plug it in here. Let me change colors. So for ST, it would be 10 times 8, which is 80, minus 41, which gives us 39. Let me fix that. Oh, it's not working. What the heck? Okay, so it equals 39. So now remember, it was asking for SV. So SV is a hypotenuse, and I have a right triangle here, so I would do 17 squared plus 39 squared equals x squared, and that's going to help me find SV. So 17 times 17 is 289, and 39 times 39 is 1,521. Then I'm gonna do 289 plus 1,521, and I get 1,810. And then if I square root 1,810, I get about 42.5. Approximately. If I break 1,000, oops, I should show that. Oops. You can hear my kids screaming probably. Okay, so if I square root this and break it down, I know that's 181 times 10, but 181, I don't think it breaks down by anything, so I think you would just leave it like that. All right, so I'm gonna do 13, then I'll have you guys try 14. So it's asking to find the perimeter of DEF, which is this outer triangle. If I know this piece, DG is 11, then DH is congruent, so that would also be 11. If FI is 9.5, FG is also 9.5. And then if HE is 16, I know IE is also 16 because they're all tangent, right? This is circumscribed. What did they call it? They said if a polygon is circumscribed around, right? So then all I do is 11 plus 11, basically 11, 11, 16, 16, 9. Oops, if I'm trying to line this separate, you would do 9.5 and 9.5, add them. So that is 10. 1, 2, 3, plus 6 is 9. 9, 18, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, so 30. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pretty sure it's 73 is the answer. All right, you try 14. Okay, and so then with this last one, you should have gotten 180 straight up. I did my math, so I have 180.0, but it's really 180. And it really just comes down to you figuring out what each of these little pieces are, and then doing some subtraction to calculate what that piece is. So you kind of work your way around the shape, and you would get each of those pieces. So a lot of subtraction. If you have any questions, just come to our office hours. And for Friday, the assignment will just be an exit ticket that has you practice all of this stuff. If you need more practice, once again, there will be Kahoots and quizzes codes for you to get really good at this, because that's kind of just how math works. All right, love you guys. Don't do drugs. Be safe out there. Bye.